Hello, everyone. This is Steven with The Curious Life. And this video is the first video in a series I'm starting. My plan is to interview people in the different places I visit as I travel the world and talk about their struggles, talk about what life is like for them, and in some cases, some of the biggest struggles that they face. The idea is to kind of help people think about the different types of struggles people face in different parts of the world, and maybe help people who might experience a similar type of issue in their own context and help them think through how to navigate it themselves. In today's video, I'm going to talk with my friend named Bella in Yogyakarta in Indonesia. So she's going to talk about her experiences growing up with epilepsy, and maybe most importantly, how people treated her growing up. A lot of people alienated her and bullied her and did a lot of kind of mean things, or didn't understand her condition. So hopefully this video will help for anyone thinking about people who might be different and what might be going on, and help kind of understand the different ways that people with different conditions might behave differently and be more sympathetic, or also people who maybe are growing up or who have to live with something like epilepsy. So I hope you enjoy, and you'll get more videos like this in the coming weeks. Hello, everyone. This is Steven. I'm specifically here with Bella, my friend, and also with Hanisa. Hanisa is here for translation support and emotion support as well. Bella, how are you doing?
Right.
Good. That's good. And how are you doing?
Good as well.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about maybe some of your journey. So for context, could you tell people a little bit about yourself?
Jadi perjalanan kamu gimana? Minta tentang diri kamu. Perjalanannya sungguh sulit. Kadang ada yang mudah, sulit, terus liku-liku lah ya, seperti itu. Saya mengalami epilepsi dari kelas 6 SD dan mengalami skizofrenia mulai dari lulus SMA tahun 2020. Jadi, so she said that the journey is hard for her. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. The pathway is so she's struggling with it. She have diagnosed with epilepsy as well, and it started on elementary school. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So this makes sense. And maybe one other quick thing for anyone, in case you're wondering. I do have a cold, so if my voice sounds deeper or if I randomly start coughing, that's why. But yeah, what was it like growing up with epilepsy?
Kamu merasa gimana waktu
in elementary school?
Tumbuh ya. Kamu kan tumbuh gede dari kecil udah epilepsi, terusnya gimana kamu? Rasanya dari kelas 6 SD itu mulai ke trigger ya. Tentang pembulian, terus dan SMP saya memilih individu waktu sekolahnya, dan akhirnya SMA saya memilih paket C. Saya memilih individu karena saya trauma karena dibully dari kecil. So she said that at first the most triggering experience for her is when she was in the 6th grade. When in the 6th grade she got like bullying from her friends. So when in junior high school she chose to be a lone wolf. She chose to be person who didn't interact with someone else, anybody else. So at the senior high, at time of senior high, she chose to do like pakai C in Indonesia. It's like an exam, but not the majority of people who does that. It's not the official exam from the senior high school. It's the you can do like packet A is for elementary school, packet B is for junior high, and packet C is for senior high. Bella just did the packet C because she didn't want to experience having to get around the people in school.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I mean, I'm glad that you had that option, but it seems like that there's a lot of, honestly, it seems like there's a bit of hardship there. How did the students bully you?
Jadi dia paham, jadi kayak untung ada kayak opsi lain itu dia ada pakai tadi kan, jadi dia bisa menghindari itu. Tapi kalau dia tanya lagi, jadi kayak kamu gimana merasanya waktu experience waktu pengalaman waktu kamu dibully itu, kamu merasa seperti apa gitu?
Saya merasa sakit hati karena telah dibully tanpa merasa bersalah. Saya sebenarnya tidak pernah punya kesalahan dengan teman-teman SD, tetapi saya dibully dan dikata-katakan kotoran hewan, kuman, dan tidak suka dengan teman-teman yang lain.
Okay. She said that she was so heartbroken when she was in elementary school. At that time when she was in 6th grade, she felt that there's friends who say bad things to her. Used to mock her, saying that she was a poop of the animal. She said that you are bacteria, you are that kind of bad words all said to her, but she felt that she don't do anything wrong at that time. But all of her friends mock her in front of her.
Wow. Why?
And
Keep going. I'm sorry.
yeah, is it?
Why did they mock you? Is it just because you had epilepsy, or yeah, that seems awful.
Kamu diolok-olok tuh karena epilepsi aja tuh kayak lebih kenapa aku bisa diolok, kayak kira-kira teman-teman tuh itu kenapa kamu tahu nggak atau kamu nggak tahu?
Nggak tahu.
Kamu okay. So she said that her friends didn't know that she had epilepsy at that time, so it wasn't about it.
Yeah, this makes sense. It seems like in and of itself, having epilepsy is something that can be very difficult to process, especially as a kid. And it seems like you kind of also had to deal with people treating you differently at the same time.
Jadi pasti dia bilang pasti berat buat Bella kan, jadi kayak epilepsi kan sesuatu yang kalau diketahui nanti kan pasti orang-orang bakal kayak gitu kayak
Pernah mengalami gitu ya. Bagaimana caranya mengalami itu, perjuangannya, dan entah bagaimana rasanya yang mengalami seperti saya, entah itu bisa pulih atau tidak. Belum tentu orang yang mengalami seperti saya akan sekuat ini.
Yeah, he said that many people experience epilepsy, but she don't think that every other person can survive as much as she survived. She survived, she grew, she learned as much, and she didn't stop believing in herself like that. She still have still have the courage to stand in her self.
That's good. That's awesome.
Okay.
What do you think helped give you that courage?
Kamu kok bisa seberani itu, percaya diri itu dengan dirimu tuh, apa yang membantumu, kayak apa sih gitu?
Saya berjuang dengan diri sendiri karena saya menyemangati diri sendiri kalau orang itu tidak pernah ada yang membela saya, terus dan saya pernah dibully itu. Saya rasanya sakit hati, rasanya ingin balas dendam. Dan saya akhirnya kelas 5 SD mengamuk di satu kelas dan mengguyur satu teman saya, teman dekat saya.
So she said that after she got bullied in elementary school, she wants to take a revenge with the people who bullied her, and that's actually happened. when she was in 5th grade, she took some water with her, and she splashed it to the person who with her, and she got burst in the class.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a different story, but when I was that age, I also did that to a boy who was yelling at me, and I happened to have some very hot water because I was like boiling some water, and I went. And I didn't realize that it's hot.
Yeah.
Like it was bad. It didn't burn him,
Oh.
which is good. But like I didn't really think about it all the way.
Yeah.
This makes sense. I mean, like maybe in general, like what was it like kind of learning about your epilepsy and kind of processing that you had epilepsy and some of the other issues that you also developed, like the schizophrenia and stuff like that?
Kamu gimana kayak memprosesnya di dalam diri kamu kalau tahu, ternyata emang aku epilepsius, aku terkena schizophrenia. Kamu cara memprosesnya biar bisa kayak berdamai, kayak udah gitu, kayak gimana?
Oke, saya berdamai dengan diri sendiri karena telah diberi saran oleh kakak saya, karena pemulihan itu penting dan harus minum obat rutin jika ingin sembuh.
So she made peace with herself. She said that what helped her the most is that her sister told her to you can be good if you keep drinking your medicine and you keep on growing as a person, and I will be there to support you. You said that, ya?
Yeah.
Oke, kan mau tambahin sekarang boleh? Udah, oke.
That makes sense, and that's important to have that support from your sister, from your family. How did you feel when she said that?
Perasaannya Bella gimana pas kakak bilang kayak gitu?
Rasanya tidak terima jika dikejar-kejar atau dipaksa untuk minum obat. Sebenarnya saya tidak suka waktu itu awal kena epilepsi, dan saya menyembunyikan obat itu di bawah kasur, dan saya mengaku kalau saya sudah minum obat dan obatnya habis.
Okay. So she said that at first it was hard for her to accept that she had epilepsy, and when her sister said that you have to routinely have your medicine, she didn't have that medicine, so she hid it below her bed, and she didn't drink it, but she said she drank it to her sister or her family.
This makes sense. Yeah, that makes total sense. I'm glad. Like, the medicine can be complicated in and of itself. Like, what is the medicine like? I thought sometimes epilepsy medicine can be both complicated and have a lot of side effects too.
Jadi kamu kan medisinya medicine epilepsinya tuh apakah banyak atau kayak harus kayak benar-benar harus teratur atau harus kayak berbahari gitu?
Awal kena epilepsi saya meminum obat dengan 3 kali sehari, pagi, siang, malam. Setelah bertahun 2 tahun kemudian dosis diturunkan menjadi 2 kali sehari, lalu diturunkan kembali pada tahap selanjutnya jadi 1 kali sehari, dan tahun ini jadi 2 hari sekali.
So she said that at first she got diagnosed with epilepsy. She had to drink medicine 3 times a day, and 3 years later she got reduced the dose by 2 times a day, and then after that got reduced again 1 time a day, and like nowadays she only drink it every 2 days, one every 2 days.
Okay, so it's getting less and less. So I guess it's getting easier. And what do you feel like? So with what you're saying with your sister, you were talking about focusing on personal growth. What do you think the growth has looked like for you over the last couple of years?
kan kamu tadi bilang sama AA jadi kayak fokus tentang pertumbuhan diri gitu. Nah pertumbuhan dirimu yang beberapa tahun ke belakang ini seperti apa?
Saya sebenarnya perjalanan hidup ini sedang mengalami stres terus, dan saya mengalami merasa kesendirian, individu, tidak punya teman, merasa dijauhkan dengan teman dekat, dan ingin bersosialisasi jadi tidak percaya diri. Dan saya memutuskan untuk mengendap di rumah sendiri, menahan diri di rumah sendiri.
So what she felt right now, she feels so lonely, she feels so stressed, she's like tired with the life she's going on lately. She felt like no friends like understand her, like I cannot say anything to anybody. My friend got away from me and they want to get close to me, and she said that she chose to go to her home, go to her own house and isolate herself there, and they don't want to get burdened by anybody else. Yeah, like that.
I could definitely see it seems like your friends aren't. If your friends are discounting you like that, I could understand wanting to go home and be safe there. How does it feel when this happens and when you go home by yourself? How does it feel?
Perasaan Amira gimana pas udah tahu kan kamu nggak gitu, kamu mau pulang? Enggak bukan, ya setuju. Tapi kayak kamu kenapa pas kamu kayak gitu, kamu mau pulang aja gitu, kamu kayak gimana perasaan kamu kayak waktu mau pulang sendiri gitu gitu.
Sebenarnya saya merasa tidak dianggap dengan teman, tidak berguna kepada tetangga, dan saya merasa sakit hati, merasa rendah diri kepada diri sendiri, kecewa dengan diri sendiri. Kenapa saya selalu direndahkan, dijauhkan, dan diejek dengan teman sebaya.
She said that her mind is occupied with the thinking that all of her friends, the peer doesn't want to get near her, and she cannot interact well with her peer group. All of the friend like putting her outside of that circle.
I could see that, and I obviously I'm not like a medical expert, but I thought some of the medication for epilepsy could be very strong, and it can do a lot too. This makes sense. It's unfortunate that this has been isolating you in this way. What have you found kind of helps you feel connected? What helps you feel connected with others?
Jadi apa yang kamu merasa dibikin kamu merasa terhubung dengan orang lain itu apa yang kamu bisa merasa terhubung kayak apa yang bisa?
Saya merasa terhubung dengan orang lain mulai dari berobat skizo ini, dan saya mulai percaya diri setelah minum obat penyakit skizo ini, dan saya jadi percaya diri untuk bersosialisasi kembali dengan teman sebaya, dan saya ikut bergabung di komunitas KPSI. Saya merasa bangga dengan diri sendiri, dan saya juga senang bisa berkumpul dengan teman-teman yang lain seperti Mbak Hanisa dan teman yang lain, karena saya suka dengan teman yang pengertian, mendukung satu sama lain, dan bisa mendukung belajar untuk mengenali penyakit mental.
She said that she felt connected now, especially with people in KPS, like me and the other friends here, because she like it when people around her is understanding, people around her is can support each other in their own way, like that. And she said that she like it, that she can learn a lot from joining this community. Yeah.
This makes sense. What have been some of the biggest things you've learned in this community? And maybe for context for anyone watching, so she's referencing a community here in Yogyakarta that of people with different kind of mental health issues, whether it's epilepsy or other things, and who kind of come together and try to kind of talk things out like a small group community support.
Yeah. What's the question?
Oh, I'm sorry. The question was, how have you been growing in this group?
Oh,
Or what have you learned?
apa yang kamu pelajari paling kamu
Mendalam ya?
pelajaran apa kamu dapat dari KPSI selama 2 minggu? Dapat dari KPSI.
Saya bisa mengenali penyakit mental, mendapat saran dari dokter saya bahwa harus melakukan aktivitas atau kegiatan sehari-hari itu penting karena agar membantu otak untuk berpikir kritis dan bisa membantu kesehatan mental jadi sehat lagi dan pulih.
So she like it that she can learn from her peers as well, that she can manage her own diseases, and she can talk to the psychiatrist there and KPSI as well, and she like it that way. She can grow to be a better person here in KPSI.
This makes total sense. I'm glad that you have this opportunity, because it seems like you've been disconnected from so many other people because of this condition. I guess one other question I wanted to ask, given what you know now, is there anything that you would have done differently if you could go back, for how you kind of processed and handled all this?
Kalau kamu bisa dari masa lalu, adakah hal yang kamu ingin ubah dari situasi seperti yang sekarang? Gimana?
Ingin mulai belajar dari awal lagi, seperti belajar di waktu SMP, SMA itu saya rasanya ingin mengulangi lagi karena saya seperti merasa kurang ilmu saja, dan saya besok tahun depan ingin kuliah di kampus impian dengan dari pihak Yakum, dan semoga saya bisa diterima.
So she said that she want to redo the time when she was in junior high school and senior high school, just because she feel like the knowledge she had wasn't enough, and she is planning to apply for college in the near future by support of some mental health Yakum from that organization, and she's hopeful that she can be accepted in college.
I hope you get that too. That would be awesome. And I also think, like you, for many of us, myself, like me, I was like this. College can be a time that we can kind of redo a lot of the aspects of either high school or middle school that we would have done differently. It's like an opportunity to, almost on some level.
Jadi kamu bisa ngulang lagi yang kamu ingin ulang di SMP SMA, kamu ulang pas kuliah, jadi kamu bisa lakuin itu pas kuliah. Jadi itu jadi ada kesempatan buat kamu biar bisa mengexperience yang kamu dulu experience di SMP SMA, kamu bakal bisa experience di kuliah.
And I have a final question, but it does have two parts. The first part is, what would you recommend for anyone who, like you, has experiencing this, having this condition happen at a young age, like you, what would you recommend they do to help kind of cope and help grow?
Saran dari Bella buat teman-teman yang yang sama punya itu khusus apa biar mereka juga tetap bisa tumbuh, tetap bisa berkembang gitu ya.
Saran saya untuk teman-teman yang mengalami seperti saya harus semangat dalam menjalani hidup ini, untuk minum obat rutin biarpun itu perjalanannya berat. Anggap saja obat itu adalah vitamin dan itu bisa memulihkan penyakit biarpun perjalanannya dan waktunya lama. Semoga yang mengalami saya bisa sembuh, pulih dan tetap semangat untuk menjalani hidup walaupun mengalami penyakit epilepsi dan skizo.
You said to all of you who experience the same as Bella, she said that keep on fighting, that you can go past through that, and don't forget to drink your medicine regularly. Think of it as a vitamin, so you don't think much about it, and she know that it's a process, but she's sure that you guys will make it.
That makes total sense. I would agree with all of that. It's like, I think in a case like this, medicine, it's like investing in yourself. It's like growing yourself, making sure you're on track. I guess, so this was the second part of the final question, which is, what would you recommend for anyone who has someone in their family encountering this, or has like a friend or somebody they know that is having to deal with epilepsy, especially at a young age?
Kalau saran ini kan saran buat orangnya. Kalau saran buat keluarganya, kan itu apa? Kalau punya seorang yang punya seperti yang atau masih muda gitu, kalau tidak liver.
Saran saya sangat sulit dijelaskan karena ibu saya, kakak saya, adik saya tidak percaya kalau saya mempunyai penyakit mental itu moodnya sedang naik turun, karena saya dianggap seperti anak pemalas. Walaupun saya bisa melakukan aktivitas apapun, saya kadang naik turun moodnya, dan orang tua saya tidak percaya dengan saya kalau saya itu sedang tidak mood. Biarpun saya bermalas-malasan, tapi saya masih tetap bisa melakukan aktivitas sehari-hari.
She said that her mother, her sister, her brother doesn't understand her, and she said that she is being labeled as lazy, but she didn't think that she is lazy. She just like not having the mood to do that things their parents or siblings said at that time, because
Yeah, this makes total sense. I think for some people, sometimes people can label something as lazy and not realize that it can just be a little harder for you to do it. Like for some people with this condition, doing some things for people that maybe is normally this level of difficulty, for you is that level of difficulty. It just takes more work. So it doesn't seem fair to consider you lazy for not being able to do it. It just might be that thing is a little harder for you to do.
Juga itu ya hal-hal tadi itu kau nggak bisa kalau setiap langsung kamu tuh malas, kamu tuh ini ya, karena itu sulit waktu itu untuk melakukan hal yang disuruh waktu itu, karena emang belum pas untuk kalian hal itu.
Yeah, and I did say final question, but I do have a follow-up question on that real quick, which is, if somebody knows someone, in a family or friend who has this condition, what can they do to try to understand it better? Maybe unlike your family who didn't always seem to understand.
Kalau dari Bella, kan tadi bilang kalau yang Bella belum semuanya paham gitu kan.
Ya.
Nah, kalau misalnya sebagai Bella pengennya seperti apa kalau biar orang
Mengerti.
paham itu kayak titik seperti apa yang baik gitu kalau ada orang yang seperti Bella juga.
Sarannya,
Hmm.
sarannya saya sebenarnya ingin memberitahu keluarga saya kalau saya itu bisa melakukan aktivitas apapun, tapi keluarga saya tidak percaya kalau saya itu anaknya kadang rajin, kadang suka membantu orang lain, dan keluarga saya tidak pernah percaya, dan saya dianggap anak pemalas kadang-kadang karena orang tua saya melihat saya pulang waktu orang tua pulang kerja, saya masih tidur. Saya karena kalau tidak mood, saya kerjaannya tidur, dan saya mager kalau untuk melakukan aktivitas apapun jika walau moodnya masih naik turun.
You said that she's still having like an issue with trust with her family. So her parents, like when they got home, she saw that Bella is sleeping at the time, just in the bed and didn't do anything, and that makes her parents like think that it's something that Bella shouldn't do.
This makes sense. How would you have liked your parents to have responded in that situation?
Pinginnya kamu gimana kalau kayak gitu?
Pengertian, mengerti kondisi saya kalau saya itu orangnya tidak pemalas, karena saya malas itu karena moodnya saya naik turun, dan saya sebenarnya ingin melakukan aktivitas karena ingin membantu, tapi mood saya tuh terasa naik turun, jadi orang tua saya tidak percaya kalau saya itu memiliki gejala yang lebih di bawah dari orang lain. Dan saya ingin menceritakan pada orang tua saya kalau teman-teman di komunitas ada yang lebih parah dari saya, tapi saya tidak berani karena saya mungkin dianggap mereka hanya omong kosong atau bohong gitu ya. Jadi orang tua saya menganggap saya di keluarga saya paling malas.
Yeah, you said that her brother doesn't trust her, and you think that she's the laziest person that they ever seen.
That must be really hard. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. And it probably adds insult to the difficulties you face, like on a regular basis, to then have people say you're lazy and to say that and to think about you that way.
Yeah. Pasti susah, pasti nggak enak rasanya kalau ada orang yang bilang kayak gitu, terus sebenarnya kan ada.
Sakit hati sekali rasanya. Rasanya saya ingin mengamuk, tapi saya tidak berani. Saya mending diam saja, menahan rasa marah, menahan amarah, daripada membuat keributan di rumah. Lebih baik saya diam daripada saya dimarahin, diomel-omel, dikatain yang tidak-tidak, dan akhirnya menjadi masalah besar.
She said that she want to explode to her parents. She want to say that that's not true. She want to defend herself, but she chose to keep it by herself, and she just to keep her mouth shut and didn't say anything. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
hurting her from the inside.
That makes total sense. That does seem very hard. I guess for now, let's say, terima kasih. Thank you for doing this. How would you like to sign us off? Would you like to do peace, or what would you like to do? What would you like to do to sign us off?
Mau saya gimana nih buat ini kayak dadah lagi untuk gimana? Oke, peace.
Terima kasih semuanya karena telah melihat saya di sini dan mendengar saya kisah dari remaja sampai dewasa sekarang ini. Saya ingin memberi saran kepada teman-teman semua, jika mempunyai kisah seperti ini harap diperjuangkan walaupun rasanya berat, sakit hati, dan harus sabar menjalankan hidup ini walaupun memang berat bagi yang mengalami. Dan terima kasih sudah saya akhiri, sampai jumpa.
Yeah, she said that. Thank you for listening and bye.
Yes, perfect. Terima kasih. Thank you and peace. All right. I'm gonna turn this off. And I'm gonna